this opportunity was definitely exactly what I needed. I can't do this right now. This is happening right now, whether I like it or not. It was my goal, and it happened. You're only as good as your last ditch.
The real win here is the personal win of you getting to move closer to your son. This guy was on unemployment insurance, selling his Pokemon cards off just to try to stay afloat. He had been bouncing between jobs and careers for years, trying to figure out what his next step was. But roughly 11 days after his first tech sales interview, he had an amazing job offer. So welcome, Scott. You guys are going to enjoy this. Scott in the house. What's up, man?
Good, are you?
Dude, it's so good to meet you. My goodness.
Yeah, we haven't actually spoken or anything, so.
It's so wild, man. But this is honestly the best way for me to meet people is like once you're starting
way
your job,
out.
once you did it. Yeah, man, you did it. You freaking did it, bro. I'm very
The whole
excited.
reason I was here. Now I'm super excited too. My laptop should be arriving tomorrow and get everything set up.
Wow. What is it, like 5 days till your start date, roughly? Is it
On the
next
4th,
Monday?
so next Monday. So a week
Next
from
Monday.
today, or next Monday, yeah.
Okay. Okay. What does life feel like right now as you kind of await the start date?
It's kind of just buckling down all the hatches. Like I'm still in the process of moving, so kind
Oh,
of
wow.
at the same time packing up and making trips down to Vancouver right now. So it's been busy, but it's good to have like this buffer in between.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Wow. I cannot believe I love the laptop. They send you probably a little swag box as well. Some stickers, a water bottle, that kind of stuff. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. I'm really excited, and it's a really is a life-changing opportunity. So thank you.
Yeah, yeah, of course, man. I'm really proud of you for putting in the work. I mean, you know this, hey, you can lead a horse to water, can't make it drink. And
Yeah, like
and
there were some times where it kind of felt like, holy crap, what the heck's going on? And it does dawn on you, but you just have to pick yourself up and just kind of keep going. So
I mean,
I
well, I'm
appreciate all the
excited to
times where you kind of, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, you're good. I was gonna say I'm excited to get into your background and your history because I don't really know too much about where you come from. I know you were in a couple different industries, right? Like I think you bartended a little bit, some
Yeah, so I was
automotive.
in the restaurant industry, I was in automotive, didn't really have any type of linear career path, and that's when I wanted to change to actually have something to look forward to and really grow with. So having a foundation to just be able to support myself and my son and kind of be a better person every single day. And what I was doing here, it kind of just was stagnant. Like I didn't really have anywhere I could grow or do. So this opportunity was definitely exactly what I needed.
Okay, I got you. And how long had you known about tech sales before jumping in?
I mean, like it's always been kind of on the radar. It wasn't always something I really thought I would be getting into. It really kind of snowballed when I was talking with my friend Josh back in Labor Day last year. So that kind of what really got the ball rolling. And yeah, I had like one-on-ones with him to kind of see how to get into this type of role because he was explaining to me how my background was a type of person that tech sales has really benefited from, and these are the type of people that usually excel.
Hmm.
So I did my research and he led me to you. You were recommended by multiple people from the hiring teams within Deel that, hey, this guy actually knows his stuff. And if you actually wanted to make that commitment, this jump, then this is your best option to actually do it right.
Yeah, man, I think you did it pretty quickly. I think it was like 11 days from the first interview you had is when you got the offer. It's very fast.
Yep, that's one of their things is deal speed. So I mean, at first the first interview was actually the longest delay because I didn't hear back for like 4 days after my recruiter call, and then it was like Friday at 8 o'clock I got an email saying you're going to the next one, and then
Wow.
yeah, so
I
I was
mean,
like, okay, I guess I'm not hearing back. It's end of the week,
yeah.
and but no, and then from there on it was instantly fast. Like it was within both times within 2 hours of my interview that you're going to the next step or you got the role.
Is there a little whiplash there of like if you look at your career so far holistically, you've kind of been in these different industries and trying to figure something out long term, and then boom, just like that, now you're in tech. Is there any whiplash there at all?
Um, Not really. Like I've worked in IT. Like I've dealt with tech before, not in this particular type of role.
Right.
Like I ran a server hosting company with one of my friends for a few years, and that was really fun. It was remote, but we were way before when remote was really a thing. It was back in 2015 to 2017. Um, but we scaled that from like having only a couple hundred people, monthly concurrent users, to over 8,000 within
Mm.
2 years. And it was kind of just cool being a part of that, being able to grow with it. And you learn a lot just being put on the spot. And uh, you just can kind of hold all that information and way to adapt and kind of
Yeah.
change your way you look at things because it changes every day and you just need to be on top of things and accept the change because if you stay stagnant, if you just go with the like with how you're doing things constantly, you're gonna fall behind.
So you jump in off a referral, someone who already was aware of what we were doing. Now you had a lot going on in the background of the job search, right? How old's your son, if you don't mind me asking?
He turns 3 next month, so May 21st
Next
he'll be
month.
3 years old.
Dude, okay, my son's only like 2 months younger than your son. So I know exactly. Oh man, I love my boy. I'm sure you're an awesome
Yeah.
guy. That's
He,
I'm
he's a,
proud of
he's a great boy for sure. And then yeah, the big thing is being able to move back down to where he is right now because
you. Yeah.
I haven't been able to really be as much involved with him as I wanted to. So I'm wanting that's the biggest change that I want to make right now.
Okay, so this isn't just about long-term career path, income, stuff like that. This is about like you becoming more present with your son.
Exactly. Yeah, like I did see him last week, but I want to make that more of a weekly or like but very much more involved situation. So it's
Man,
this is the
what a
first step
blessing.
to that and yeah, and this is the biggest thing towards making that a reality as well as having the flexibility and the security that this
Yeah.
role will actually be able to give me.
So you've got like dad stuff going on. You've got this move. You're trying to sell your house. At one point, you brought up your Pokemon card collection that you were trying to like sell that off. It just sounds like there was a
Yeah.
lot of pressure. Were there moments where you questioned whether this was the right call to make this jump? And how did you process that?
I mean, not really. Like there were times where I'm just like I can't do this right now and I definitely pushed off days whereas like I didn't even look at anything and just
Yeah.
brought it away. But then I just like I had to be like, no, like you need to do like you are in this and it's happening whether you like it or not. And it's just something that you just have to, as hard as it might be, it's gonna be worth it if you just
Yeah.
give yourself a little bit of a leeway to make it a possibility.
And I think you were working with Nate, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think at one point you had asked him, you were kind of saying like you felt like you were kind of just drifting a little bit and you needed him to just give you a target, right? And to stick to it.
Yeah.
What was going through your head the first few weeks when you didn't feel like there was a lot of clarity and really like what broke that pattern to where you could get in and just execute?
I mean, I guess most of it came down to so I had a really, I'm gonna say, different mindset coming into your program. My whole mentality was to be the right, like the perfect candidate and the perfect person for Deel. This was my goal, and it happened. So, that's awesome. But it was really just being able to really focus and really hone in on what parts I was either lacking in and kind of just being able to look at where I'm falling short and just focus on that more than the other areas where I feel, you know what, I get that. I can kind of glance over that and go from there. So it kind of fell down towards being just having a little more of like I guess push or just having knowing someone's in your corner. That was the biggest thing for me as well. Like you guys were great, and then also my friend Josh one day, when I really like dimed in on everything, he texted me one morning saying like, "I had a dream you got the role," and like they just posted uh all these roles for North America. Is it time? And like in that text, like it is time. Like I can't keep just dwelling and saying, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Like this is happening right now, whether I like it or not. So I said, yes, it's time, and that's when he sub like actually put in my referral. I put in my application. I reached out to a bunch of people, and I waited to hear back. And then, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, getting the referral is for sure a leg up, but dude, you still got to earn it through that interview process. So I'm thinking about the people listening. They're looking at you like this guy got the dream outcome, right? He's at Deel. He just landed a great role, did it very quickly. What do you think, now that you've been through the interview process, what do you think the hardest part or one of the hardest parts of the interview process is? And then what would your advice be to people out there of how to get through that part?
So the biggest thing that they gave me feedback on, which I'm now trying to be really reflective on, is just breathing and not rushing or filling the silence. Like silence is actually good. It means you're thinking, it means they're thinking, and it's human. Like you can't immediately know a response. So being able to pause and kind of just, you know, like take a moment to reflect on how you want to go about answering your next answer question. So that's the biggest thing. And then just having a normal conversation. Like they're just another person on the other side like you are. They just have a little more kind of, I guess, power over you in a sort of way, but it's not really like they are human. They're wanting a nice interaction, someone that they can feel comfortable and trust. And
Mm,
that's exactly where you need to be and just be yourself. Don't just kind of don't force things. Just kind of go with the flow and let things take their own lead.
mm.
And if you're able to kind of read a situation, um, that's also very key. But the main thing also, like, do your research. Know who you're talking to. Even like the smallest little thing, how you can relate to them, it makes them like, hey, yeah, I like that, and I get that. It's just being personable is the biggest thing for any type of like sales role these days. Like
Do you have an
the
example of maybe an appropriate icebreaker, something, maybe one or two examples that pop up of stuff you used?
um so I guess like for my one interview with Kate, so she's the associate director of sales at Deel. Um she's very much into like colors and like she really is just open and straightforward, super like my conversation with her was just like an actual conversation. So just being able to go off topic and just talk about yourself or a little experience that you had uh, makes them shine up because it's memorable. That's what you want the experience to be is memorable and not just like another basic scripted call or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm thinking about my hiring manager days. When we were hiring, I would have 6 candidates in my calendar every day. And everyone kind of knows how to give the right interview responses these days because there's so much info out there of when they ask this, you should say this, that kind of stuff. But it really is that personality stuff that made someone memorable to me. And I was like, they're not just a robot saying the right things, they're an actual human. And me as a manager, this job's very emotional. Like there are some high highs
Yeah.
and low lows. I need to have emotional connection with the other person so that I can actually trust that they're going to work through those harder times with me rather than just like be a robot and maybe tap out because they're not actually emotionally invested. And so I think part of the strategy there in terms of like managers, leadership, going off topic, seeing if you can just talk and be confident and be a human is to see like, is there a real human underneath there? Like, can this person actually relate and talk? Do they have strong EQ? And so when we go off script, it exposes that right away. And it sounds like you were able
Exactly.
to build a very authentic connection, which increases the amount of trust that that team has in.
Yeah, so authenticity is definitely way up there. Being able to relate to their core values and showing for it as well. Um, and then also just kind of, yeah, like you said, just being a human is what people want right now.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Quick interruption, y'all. If you need help breaking into tech sales, linked below is an invite to our Breaking into Tech Sales community. In there, you're going to find resume help, LinkedIn help. where to find good jobs to apply to, how to interview, literally everything you could need to go land a great job in tech sales completely free. Go get signed up. Back to the episode. For this interview process, take me to the moment you got the offer. What was that like? Who did you tell? What happened?
So it was kind of funny how it was happening. I already knew it was happening right like in the call. So basically, she was kind of in the interview process. We were just going back and forth, and then she would even was started asking me like it's just additional questions that she even kind of had planned for, just because she was curious, she wanted to know more. So we went in with that, and then she mentioned how like even partway through the interview, she was messaging Josh like he's killing it, he's doing great, and all this kind of stuff. And like at the end, you know how like when you want to close the interview, which is also super important in any type of these roles, like you want to sell yourself. If you can't sell yourself, how are you going to sell anything that they're trying to sell? So just be upfront and be like, hey, like on our conversation, is there anything that you would be hesitant about me at all? Like, I feel I'm the right person here, and this is why me and you would be able to be benefiting from this. So let's hear it. Puts them on the spot, and both times they really appreciated that kind of confidence and the openness of it. And like especially with Kate, she was like straight up just said, "Nope." Like I have no hesitation, and I'm a very open, transparent leader, and like it was great conversation with you. So we'll be chatting soon. And then I was texting my friend Josh, and I was kind of like, yeah, I feel like I really did a good job. It went super smooth. Really happy with myself right now. At this point, he already knew because Kate already told him that I got it. But so
Yeah.
he's trying to keep it in, not trying to spoil it. And I'm like, yeah, she said maybe I'll hear back like either tomorrow or Monday. Um, but I'm just gonna, stay optimistic, and I feel like I landed it. It's like, yeah, you know what? I like that. We're gonna stay optimistic. But again, he already knew.
Good friend. He let you find
Yeah,
out on your own. Um,
yeah.
Man, that's so exciting. Wow. So I guess the question I have for you then, someone who's watching this where you were just a few weeks ago, right? Maybe a little overwhelmed, maybe not even sure where to start. So a lot of people overthink the process. Like getting into tech sales is this much bigger thing in their head. Based on everything you went through to land this role, what's one thing you think that people should be doing differently out there that are listening to this podcast?
Overwhelming yourself is definitely up there. Like I overwhelmed myself just thinking at the whole picture. Like you want to try to focus on little bits here and there. You don't want to just dive in the deep end and then tread water. Like you are gonna drown. So you just need to take things one step at a time. Once you feel comfortable with that, you just move on from there. And then it's okay to ask questions. People want to hear from you. So reaching out to people on LinkedIn, anyone, like I've messaged so many different people and had so many different interactions and conversations with people. And it's cool just to have that almost like a community where everyone's so receptive and wanting to help you, and they're not going to bite you. Like it's the worst thing, they either don't reply or they say, "Hey, I'm busy." But
Mm.
that's the whole part of the job too. You're going to get that rejection. So if you can't even take that step to say hi to someone who you feel you might either be on the same boat in, and just kind of like, hey, I see you're kind of going through this too. What's been your experience so far? And people love to talk about it, and you can learn from each other.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing that you said earlier was this whole idea that like the person on the other side of that interview screen is just a person at the end of the day. And something that I would do, even in management, because I had a little bit of imposter syndrome, was I had to remind myself that, like, hey, that SDR manager or that VP of sales, they were probably an SDR at one point. They were probably in a very similar interview process to where I am now. And they were feeling the same feelings, the same thoughts were going through their head of, oh no, am I going to mess up? Am I qualified enough? But we all have to start somewhere. And I think
Yeah.
once that unlock happens, you then realize like, oh, okay, cool. if they used to be me, then they're probably willing to help someone like me out if I can present myself the right way and, show them that I'm doing the best I can with what I know. Everyone likes to kind of mentor people. Everyone likes to feel
Exactly.
helpful. And so what you're saying there is so true, man. Like one of the best resources as you're on your job search is AEs and SDRs at the company because they got in and now they kind of want to give back. And if you approach them respectfully, thoughtfully, if you approach them the right way, they're probably going to engage with you and be willing to hook you up a little bit. So I think that's a really good call out that people can take away from the conversation.
No doubt. Like, yeah, reach out to people. They're more than willing to help you out anytime.
Yeah.
Like I've
Dude,
had an insane amount of help from different peoples within the sword community and also just people I found on LinkedIn. It's been amazing and I'm super grateful for all of them like in this journey and everything. So
yeah.
I'm always happy to be like I've been trying to give back as well when people message me because it's happened a lot since I made my post that hey, I'm joining Deal and I've been getting flooded with people saying, "Hey, like how'd the process go and like what's this going on about or what would you recommend to do?" And
Ooh,
yeah.
quick note here. I think this will be a gem for people. What determines, so you have a bunch of people reaching out to you right now, asking for help with the process, whatever. What determines whether you're going to reply to someone or not? Because we just talked about how you present yourself to people is very important. Because if you're just lazy and you're looking for handouts, like for me, I didn't want to help those people. But people that were thoughtful about how they approached me, I really was like eager to work with them. What's your kind of criteria and how should people approach someone already in the company?
Um, so let me just pull up a conversation that I just had from earlier today.
Love it.
So they basically just reached out saying, currently wondering about applying for an SDR position at Deal. Since you're already crushing on the sales team, I'd love to get your perspective. Are there any specific pain points or like features that you think a candidate should master to stand out during the hiring process? And then also just being like a little friendly intro, but actually putting effort into what you're wanting to learn. Like, what do you want out of it? If you just say, "How do I get in?" I mean, like, I don't know. What point are you at? Like,
Yeah.
what areas do you want help with? So if you can be specific with what you might want a little more help with, or
Mhm.
kind of what direction you might need to be pointed in, is gonna probably stand out a lot more if you are trying to make that route to reaching out to people. But again, just being human. Like this guy threw in emojis and kind of just had an actual structure to what he was hoping to get out of me. And
Yeah.
I gave him a pretty long and detailed response, and he was super appreciative. Um, and I told him as well, like, be a human, just have a conversation, do your research, and don't just show up trying to follow a script because
Mhm.
half the time it's never going to be off script. Like the business where it's going right now, you have to be able to adapt and you have to be able to change and pivot in a matter of seconds. So if you're trying to just go off a script, you're not gonna really be able to stand out or go far.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, for the listeners, y'all, if you're sending out messages to people at companies saying, "Hey, how do I get into this company?" Don't do that. It's really not the right way to approach it. But Scott, that's actually a really helpful example that I think people can take away. And it's really simple. It's the difference between asking someone, "Hey, how was your day?" You know, you're going to get some vague, generic response because your question was not specific. But if I were to ask, "Hey, what was the hardest part about your day today?" Now I'm going to get a real answer because I asked a specific question. That answer is going to be specific. And it's kind of that same pattern is what's going on here.
Yeah, exactly. Like be specific, know what you want out of the person because if you're gonna get give them a broad question, you're gonna get a broad response. So if you really want that kind of key information, then just add a couple more words instead of being like, how should I apply? Being like this guy, he wanted those specific pain, like what areas do you think stand out in the hiring process? So that is kind of what I leaned into. Like they're really big on their core values. They really just want you to be human and most importantly, breathe. Don't just blur out words and gush it all over in the interview because it's kind of going to confuse yourself and it's going to confuse them.
Absolutely. Well, I guess last question for you, man. Is there anything that I didn't ask you today, but you wanted to make sure you said?
I mean it's not easy, but once you get the flow going, it kind of just all mends together and you just really have to push yourself and there are times where you're going to have bad days, but you can't let yourself be that example. Like there's a saying in kitchens and everything, you're only as good as your last dish. So once you like if you show up one day and it's not the greatest, I mean, that's okay. You just learn from that and then the next one you put out, it's going to be perfect and you just have to keep it up and I don't know. It's like believe in yourself because you are capable.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, dude, I am very proud of you professionally, but I think the real win here is the personal win of you getting to move closer to your son and getting to hang out with him more. So I'm so proud of you. Thank you for trusting us. And you're part of the Sword family for life. And we're going to be here to support you to make sure you take off in that role. So anything you need, do not be a stranger.
Yeah, it's amazing, Jack. And yeah, thank you. It's been great to actually finally meet you. And I look forward to being able to help people out and just continue to be a part of this amazing community because it is an amazing community. I will say that. Like, there's a lot of interaction, there's a lot of great people in there, and they all just want you to succeed.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got to put in the work, and you did that, Scott. You showed up, you put in
So,
the work. Congrats, man.
thank you so much, Jack.